Hopefully we have some audio. Let me know if you can hear me. The new Barbie movie has a shot of the Netherlands. That's funny. Bike windmill tour lips. Nice. Positive. Nice. Yes, audio, yes. Okay. Hopefully the volume's okay. I am getting marginally faster at setting up a live stream, but it still takes too goddamn long. I particularly hate how YouTube's live stream interface is not available on their mobile app. So you have to log in desktop. So I have to open Chrome in desktop mode on my phone and set up the live stream. Okay, let's see if we can get some video here. Let me just see if the GPS is running. Yeah, GPS is running. Boom. Let's do this. Just gonna really quickly check the video. 2 likes on the stream with 70 watching. What the hell, guys? Like the stream. All right, let's go to live here. All right, it does look like there is video, maybe? Okay. I'm going out filming today. There's a couple of things I need to film, and I thought I would live stream it and bring you along, but that does mean, since it's a filming stream, there's going to be some times where I'm just standing there in silence for a minute. That's just the way it's going to be. Greetings from Austria. Nice. Video's up. Yes, video. Preemptive F. Don't start with me. That reminds me, though. Let me just check the Bella box here. See if it's got both networks. Bella box. System under voltage detected. You may experience system instability, including glitches, freezing. What? Why? Why am I getting an under voltage? 4.7 volts. All right, well, we're gonna have to see how it goes. Can anyone else barely hear him? I can increase the volume of the audio, but last time it was so loud. I have 1 extra micro HDMI cable. I'll try increasing the volume of the audio, but last time it was very loud. All right, let's see how it goes. Live streams are always fun. One technical problem after another. I shoot from eye level on street. Let's go check out some construction projects. So there's a whole bunch of construction being done around Amsterdam lately. like crazy amount. Well, there's some right there. I'm not filming that. They are improving so many streets, and we're going to go out to Berlagabrug because they are replacing that. It hasn't been refurbished since the 30s. And the Canadians drove their tanks over it after liberating the city. But yeah. Jason isn't loud, cars are loud, yeah. Let me know if it gets too loud, because once we get out to like where the cars are, it does get to be quite loud, right? Subjective experiences, Dutch construction seems faster than Canadian construction. Yeah, I think yes. In some cases it is faster, in other cases maybe not. But one thing I do notice that they do here when they do construction, they just flat out close it to cars. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's faster. Because in Canada, they always keep the road open to cars all the time when they're doing construction. So they might be down to one lane or something like that. And then they have somebody standing there with a sign. Whereas here, they're just, nope, cars aren't coming through. And I think that lets them do it faster because they don't have to like keep half the road open. All right, this is the first one. I'm not going to spend an awful lot of time here. I actually don't know if there's a gap in the fence that I can film through. This is a pedestrian bridge. And they're making it, I think they're making it quite a bit wider, but I'm not sure. No, maybe that was just, no, maybe it's the same width as it was before. But this is one of the bridges they're fixing. There's a lot of bridges in this city, and a lot of them need to be repaired. Do construction workers in the Netherlands wear steel-toed shoes? I don't know. I suspect so. When we lived in Taiwan, the construction workers would wear Crocs, which was insane. They also have bamboo scaffolding, which is more safe than you'd think. Bamboo is actually pretty strong. All right, I'm just going to try to just one more pedestrian lane, bro, yeah. I'm just going to try to really quickly film just a tiny bit of this. This is not a terribly important project. I just thought while we're out here at Saud, I would film this very quickly. So sorry for the shitty view you're going to have for a sec. This is the best I can do. I might just grab a couple more clips of that from different angles, but this is not terribly important. I'm hearing to listen to NJB start swearing like a sailor. Yeah, well, maybe if I start talking about Canadian urban planning. Getting some B-roll for future YouTube videos, yes. Just gonna grab a little bit farther down here, but I really want to get out to Berlagabrug because they're closing it soon. They haven't closed it yet, but they will be closing it soon. And I want to get some before footage. They've also built a temporary pedestrian bridge, which is pretty cool. Okay, that's enough for now. I want to get over to Berlagabrug. Here's Bicycle Dutch's video in Berlagabrug. I don't think you can put links. I haven't fixed Nightbot. But yeah, Bicycle Dutch has a video about Berlagabrug. It's an important bridge. But it's also no longer meeting the safety standards for bridges in the Netherlands, so it has to be renovated and repaired. But I think what's interesting about it is that they are built a temporary bridge for cycling, walking and cycling. not for drivers. Nobody cares about them, but walking and cycling, there's a temporary bridge, and that's kind of what I want to go film. At least that's what I've heard. I've only read about it online, but I believe they start the project on Sunday, so the temporary bridge should be done. F for frame rate. Oh man, that sucks so much. Yeah, Berlagabrug is where the Canadians entered the city in 1945, exactly. Although, I'm actually not sure if they entered on Berlage or they entered on Torontobrug, because I thought one of the reasons they renamed it Torontobrug is because of the Canadians. I should research which one it is. I know they had a parade. The Canadians had a parade across Torontobrug. Stream is stable again while it's on and off. That's so frustrating. Because if it is under voltage, that's really bizarre because it's the same stuff the USB power bank I always use. I don't know why it would be different today. Wonder if you were going to do anything with a 5-year anniversary of the M52 line, yeah. Wasn't planning on it, except maybe a podcast. I am doing a podcast with RM Transit about how Amsterdam's public transit isn't good enough. So maybe that counts. There's a lot of wind out here. Hopefully the mic is keeping that out. It still annoys me that the M52 only runs every 6 minutes at a maximum. I think that's bullshit. Even at rush hour, only every 6 minutes on a brand new metro. That's nonsense. Give me a second to check something. There's another construction project coming up here that we'll check out. Yeah, no stream sniping, please. Don't come and meet me while I'm streaming, or if you do, just wave hi and then move on. You don't need to annoy everyone on stream. Only 6 minutes. At rush hour, that's not good enough. Like, through the day, fine, but like rush hour, those trains should be coming like every 2 minutes, every minute and a half. Every 6 minutes is not good enough for a metro. We're not talking about trains here, we're not talking about trams, we're talking about a metro, like an underground metro, brand new, should run more than every 6 minutes. The Toronto subway is going to be running every 1 minute 40 seconds soon. Oh. Yeah, I moved it over here. Anyway, another construction project. I like what they do for bikes here. I think I might stop to film that because they made the street one way for cars. Then they created this two-way bicycle path for people cycling. So it's still open two ways for people cycling, but only one way for cars while they do construction. And the construction is actually installing a really nice new cycling path, although it's mostly being done to replace water mains and stuff. It's a bit windy out here. You know, I noticed that YouTube was having some issues before I started the stream, just in general. So I wonder if the stream is better on Twitch today. There's a lot of wind out here, so I've had to switch to another microphone. But I would really like to have like somebody cycling by, or even a car or something. This is like, oh, here comes somebody. Otherwise, it's a little bit boring. Yeah, that was good. The Toronto Bridge was built after the war. Okay, that's cool. Right now the stream is fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it could also be like Vodafone being shitty and stuff. I don't know. I got Vodafone and T-Mobile running at the same time. Let me just double check that that's running the way it should. Yeah, I'm doing about 3K kilobits, 3 megabits per second on both networks, so it's fine. Built in 1968, really? Was that late? Okay, then it was Berlagabrug that the Canadians came across, so that's good. That'll be a good little story for the video. It is an historic bridge. Twitch is not really better. Okay, fair enough. So it is what it is. I'll grab another view of this bicycle path from up here. Hear no wind, that's good, because it is windy out here, but Rode makes good microphones. And I picked up the official wind muff, which is better than the cheapy versions you get off Amazon. See, isn't this so nice? Like when they do construction, we got this big concrete barrier here and the two-way cycling path. It's good. Keeps it nice and safe for anybody that wants to ride a bike. And I assume they're going to do the other side of this road. So they're doing this side and then they're doing that side. I assume anyway, but I believe it's being done for water mains. And the street redesign is just a bonus. It's amazing though how quiet it is here. I guess it is the last day of school, so everyone's just kind of buggered off. Amsterdam ends its school this week. Other parts of the Netherlands do it at different times. But I was hoping to have more people cycling here, because normally this is quite busy. But I guess because it's the last school day, people may have left on holiday already. I know a bunch of our kids' friends were like immediately leaving on holiday as soon as they took the kids out. They got out early today too. Our kids got out at just after 12. I've been out of school for a month now. Yeah, in Canada, the summer vacation is longer. Oh, here comes some people cycling. Oh, they're probably going to Beatrix Park though. Because if you're coming down here, it's better to go through the park than it is to go along this, to be honest. So yeah, the summer vacation is shorter here than it is in Canada, but they have a lot more vacations through the year than they do in Canada. So it kind of balances out. I usually like to get people cycling by in my videos just to keep it more interesting than just a plain old street. But normally it's not so difficult to do that. Normally that happens by default. Like you have to try not to. What's the topic of the next video? Bike-friendly construction? No, I don't actually know what the topic of the next video is going to be. I think I'm going to do it about Berlagabrug station because I had to go out there for a contract for a while. I just finished Thursday. I think, I don't know. I've also been in the Netherlands for 5 years now. So I've kind of been working on a script where I go through my old footage from when we first moved here, which is kind of shit quality, but you know, some phone footage, some old GoPro footage. But I think it's interesting to see like what I thought was worth filming 5 years ago. Because it's funny to go through it because it's like stuff that I wouldn't even bother filming now. But in terms of this video, I do want to do a video about the Berlagabrug, but they're not finishing the construction till November, so I suspect that video won't come out until like December. But I need the before footage now. And while I'm here, I generally do want to make a video about construction. I'm not sure what form that's going to take. So it may also be just about street design, and this is about the construction of that street design. I'll actually go over there and show you what they have completed on this street. It's pretty good. Hey, Just a Panhead, thanks for the super chat. I've been a fan of your content for years now. Love what you're doing and keep up the good work. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Let me know if I missed any other super thanks, by the way. Sometimes I'm too busy cycling and filming to spot them, but looks like there's no others, so that's good. Thanks so much. Okay, so yeah, I'll show you over there because they finished that side of the road on here, and it's all new. And I kind of wish I had got more before footage. I got a little bit of before footage just because this used to be a dangerous place to cycle. Amsterdam is reducing its speed limit to 30 kilometers an hour for basically the entire city. You could look at the redesigned intersection at Churchillaan and Scheldestraat. Is that redesigned? Maybe on the way back. Might be interesting to talk to someone from the municipality. I do talk to the municipality sometimes, for what it's worth. Okay. Even though you said you're done talking about Australia, it was only done talking about Australia in that video. I can still talk about Australia again, but I generally only talk about places if I can go there and film them myself, and I'm not going to film Australia anytime soon, so, you know, there's that. This is interesting. Why do they have a curb here? I wonder if that's temporary. So I'm looking at this. Why does it curve like that? I wonder if this is going to be permanently one way? Nah, it can't be. I'd be surprised. Anyway, this road gets really busy when there's a show on at the convention center. That's the Rye Convention Center, which is right there. So this gets really, really busy. And it was an incredibly unpleasant place to cycle because it was just a painted bicycle gutter. And the speed limit here was 50 kilometers an hour, which is pretty high for Amsterdam. And that crossing back there, where it was all torn up, was super dangerous. And they had these big flashing lights and everything. And yeah, super dangerous by Amsterdam standards, I should say. But this is the new design. It's pretty sweet. 4 days ago, a woman 74 was killed in Berlin. Oh, that's brutal. Berlin government is just screwing up everything these days, eh? That's what happens when you get right-wingers in government. People get mad all the time, and they're like, I'm a right-winger who likes good cities. I'm like, okay, but your politicians fuck everything up every time, so, you know. Okay, this is good. See, that's more normal, that I go to film and then a whole bunch of people cycle by. Why'd they make a new cycle path out of tiles instead of asphalt? They do tiles for a couple of different reasons. They, sometimes they do it for aesthetic purposes, but often they'll do it anywhere where either tree roots can grow, because then they can repair it easier, or if they have to tear it up because there's utility lines underneath it, then they'll do the tiles. There's nothing wrong with these tiles. These are perfectly flat, and they keep them flat. And that, someone was asking about that yellow sign. It says, if you ride the wrong way down the road, it's a €69 fine. So like there's the no cycling sign, because you're supposed to cycle on that side, right? They just don't want people riding the wrong way down the road, the bike path. Yeah, that's a Van Moof right there. Hate those bikes, they're shit. This is an example of the way they do the intersections so that it's safe for cars turning right. Don't hit cyclists. Right hooks. Nobody's going to turn in here because this is just local traffic. There's no way we're going to get someone turning in here. But you see there's enough space for a car to come in here and turn right and then stop here out of the flow of traffic. Then they're on more of a 90-degree angle with the cyclists, so they have better visibility, and they can stop here and wait for the cyclists and then continue through. So this is fairly standard. And you'll see that the bike path actually curves back closer to the road up there after the parked cars, but here it's purposefully set back by this amount to make it safer so that people don't get right hooked. Let me see if there's anyone cycling past. It's amazing how quiet it is out here. He's gonna make us get excited about sidewalks again, it's true. Did you cover the awful bike car lane interchange in front of Amsterdam IKEA? I don't know what you're talking about. There's a decent interchange in front of Amsterdam IKEA. I mean, there is like one crossing, I guess. I have a video about cycling to IKEA. Anyway, here's somebody riding the wrong way down the road. So that's who that sign is for, that person. That woman I don't think realizes because of the construction that she can cycle over there. Sees the sign, ignores the sign. Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be helpful if the sign said like, the Fietspad is open on the other side of the street or something. Oh, here comes somebody else. Actually, let me see if he continues down here, then I can film the sign with him going by. Lol. All right, 2 people. That was great. Standing in front of the sign baiting them. It's pretty funny. Okay, I think that's enough of this anyway. Maybe I'll just get one more clip of the construction here. I wish I had filmed more of the before on this thing before it got torn up, but this will do anyway. Of course, now there's no cars going by, which makes this footage super boring, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm not going to stay around here all day because I got more important stuff to film. Amazing how quiet it is, though. I guess summer holidays really have started. Okay, anyway, I'm going to pack this up and let's get over to Berlagabrug. Just need some tea first. Sorry, just checking chat here. If you had to live somewhere other than the Netherlands, where would it be? I think like Oslo is on our list. Copenhagen as well. Stockholm. I like Scandinavia. All right. Well, let's go. Should I ride down here? Should I ride down this way? If I get a €69 fine, I need chat to pay it. I'll crowdsource my fines. Ugh, this is not quite as nice, eh? I hope they widen this. This did get to be, it was a bit too narrow. Although it doesn't look like they're going to. It looks like this might stay the same. It's tough to tell. Isn't it a tax write-off for you? Yes, that's true. Caught in 4K, well, in this case, 1080p. It's the best we're gonna get. Actually, I think the stream, is the stream 1080? The stream is 1080. I'm not sure if the camera connection to OBS is 1080 or 720p. I forget what I set it at. Oh, wait a second. Actually, I think instead of going along Churchill Lawn, I'm going to go along Victory Lawn. Let's go. Let's mix it up a bit. This is the convention center, the Rye. There's a metro station stop for M52, which is right there. That escalator is there. This is one of the very few roads in Amsterdam that will not be 30 kilometers an hour. This is going to stay 50 here. There's a very small handful that they're keeping as 50, and this is one of them. Let's just go down here. President Kennedy Lawn, I think this is called. Yeah, 720p is kind of fine for the stream from the bike, to be honest. If it's not set to that, I probably should set it to that, because it's not really worth the extra bandwidth for those extra pixels. It's better to have lower resolution and higher bit rate than it is to try to get the resolution out of it. And then the OBS is connected in 1080p. That was loud. So the map and everything is 1080p, which is more important. Source is 1080p. No, you're seeing the source you're seeing is coming out of OBS. You don't know what it is coming across. You can't tell what it is coming across the Bella box to OBS. This is one of the few unpleasant roads in Amsterdam. This and Amsterdam. At least it's short, and it's just an entrance to a highway, basically. So, and of course the bike paths are separated two-way on both sides, so can't complain too much. Tram in the center, but still kind of a shit 1960s road here. Most suburban streets are 60 kilometers an hour in front of people's houses. That's right. It's insane. It's absolutely fucking insane. Speed limit should never be more than 30 kilometers per hour where people live, where you're expecting to have people cycling and walking. Yes, I made a choice to ride here deliberately. I believe they are turning this into a 30 kilometer per hour street, which is going to be interesting to see, because they've been talking about how they're going to have to narrow the lanes. And so I believe it's on December 11th this year. Like overnight, they're just going to go and reduce lanes with plastic sticks and paint. They've got 3,000 signs, speed limit signs ready to go. It's going to be really interesting. I'll make a video about that for sure, because it's like this big project on, I think it's December 11th. This year, to convert basically the entire city to 30 kilometers an hour. Huge road by Dutch standards, absolutely right. It's super rare to have a road in Amsterdam with more than one car lane in each direction. This is unusually large, so it wouldn't surprise me if they chop this down to one lane in each direction for cars, maybe put a bus lane in the middle, or like trees and stuff. I suspect that's the long, oh man. So you see there, that was really fucking bumpy from the tree roots. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but like that is so, and I suspect the stabilization fixed it a bit, but you can see the tree roots have just torn up the asphalt. This is one of those reasons why they'll put the tiles down instead, because the tiles are way easier to fix than this. Because in order to fix asphalt, you have to like patch the asphalt, and then it ends up being kind of bumpy and shitty. Whereas if this was tiles, they could just come along, pull it all up, redo the sand, and put the tiles back, and it would be as good as new. So sometimes the tiles are better than the asphalt. And that's why they'll use them sometimes where there are trees like that. Tiles are louder. I mean, they don't have to be. But they lay the tiles really, really flat now. Like those tiles over there that we were looking at when I was filming, those are perfectly smooth. Tiles or bricks? I mean, clinkers. I mean, technically they're brick tiles. They can. I don't think a bureau is supposed to be driving here. Could be mistaken. So the tiles can drain water better. It depends how they're done. Sometimes they are like effectively waterproof. Yeah, I never come down here. I'm reminded just how car-centric this is. A lot of this stuff was built in the 1960s. Tiles are made of porcelain. Yeah. If you're being pedantic about it. You can have brick tiles too. Clay tiles, that is. Not brick, I suppose. Brick are made out of clay. You can have clay tiles. In Germany, these tiny electric cars count as e-bikes if they are max 25 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I mean, that's the same here. But those bureaus are 45 kilometers an hour. And they can ride in the bicycle lanes outside of the city, same as the yellow plate mopeds. But I'm pretty sure that you're not supposed to be riding a bureau on the bike lane here. Are you talking to multiple chats at the same time? Yes. I multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube for now. I won't be streaming to Twitch for too much longer. It's against the terms of service of Twitch, and it introduces a whole bunch of lag and technical difficulties. But for now, I am multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube. If you find an issue, you can send a complaint to the city through an app. That's correct, and I've done that, and they've come and fixed it. It's actually pretty cool. Let's see, there's another tree root coming through. Okay, so look at this. When they fix the tree roots in asphalt, like this, they cut the asphalt, fix the tree root, and then they put bricks over it. Which is kind of funny, instead of like a blob of asphalt. I'm actually starting to get sold on the idea that the clinkers are better than asphalt, because they can be smooth, and they tend to make them smooth if they're well maintained. And I think when people have issues with cobbles and stuff like that, it's because they're rough and not well maintained. If they're well maintained, then they're great. Concrete paver is the official term. Yes, but they're not made out of concrete. They do sometimes make them out of concrete. I believe those ones are made out of concrete, but others are made out of clay. Yeah, so here we are. And I don't feel like this is really any worse than the asphalt. It's a little bit bumpier. But if it means that we don't have any issues with tree roots, then I'd kind of rather have this. I mean, this is a bit bumpier than the asphalt, but I wouldn't call it, it's not like riding across cobblestones or anything. Yeah, these streets are very wide because a lot of this was built in the 1960s. Up here, it was built in the 30s before the war, but then a lot of the stuff we were just going through was built after the war, when things were getting to be car-centric. So there's a lot of streets and roads that need to be repaired around here. Okay, here we come up to Berlagabrug. Should probably find a place to just lock up and film this. Oh yeah, there's the pedestrian bridge. Cool. So that's it, that's the bridge. It has tram lines going across it, and it opens for boats too, which is pretty cool to watch. The tram line, like the power lines for the tram, get lifted up too. Glasgow's adding 270 kilometers of separated bike lanes to the existing 301. That's pretty good. Sidewalk is too narrow. I mean, is it though? You wouldn't necessarily walk along that side. You'd walk along the other side. That's the side next to the water. So there are no things to go to if you're walking. And if you're like, a lot of the times they'll make sidewalks, like they'll say sidewalks are too narrow because they're too narrow for wheelchairs, but wheelchairs will use the bicycle path. So I don't actually think that the sidewalks are too narrow there. Anyway, I will be making a video all about the tiles and everything, and I'm going to be bringing in an expert who works in that field, and we will talk all about the tiles in a video. I'm going to do that with build the lanes, and we'll find out which tiles are concrete, which tiles are clay, why they're used where, and for what reason. And it will be highly exciting to get you excited again about sidewalks. When's the roundabout video coming? That's a good question. Haven't bothered to do one. Build the Lanes is doing one. And he's more qualified to talk about it anyway, to be honest. So if you're not subscribed to Build the Lanes on YouTube already, you should do that. He's an American who worked as a traffic engineer in the United States and then moved to the Netherlands and now works as a transportation engineer here. He makes great videos about all of this infrastructure stuff. And he is working on a video about roundabouts right now. I assume I can talk about that. I can assume I can leak that confidential information that he's working on a roundabout video. Not sure when it will come out because he works as an engineer and he's busy. Do you know how much influence the military had on street road design after World War II? I'm not sure. It's crossing the Amstel, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna... The bike is locked, and so a couple of things here. They already started work on this. They've made this way bigger. So the bicycle lanes are wider than they were before. You can see they got like little two-way, it comes in here. This is blocking it off, but where it's blocked off here, you can see this is all one big, huge bicycle lane. And that's because traffic volumes here at rush hour are insane. I've come through here a few times and the number of people cycling is just off the charts. Well, I'll have to come at rush hour sometime when it's not school holidays. But yeah, you can see how wide the bicycle path is here now. Look at this. This is like, what, like 6 meters wide or something? But it's necessary in rush hour. You can see it's not even that busy right now, and it's already getting kind of blocked up here. This used to be half this size, maybe a third this size. Always get more B-reel than you think you need. Any idea what the results of the municipal experiment with blocking cars was? It's not done yet. It finishes on Sunday. And then they're going to analyze the data and everything. So we don't know yet. I'm going to walk over to Berlagabrug. Before recent construction, there was often cyclist traffic jam halfway down the bridge. Exactly. That's exactly right. It's crazy how many people come across this bridge, which is why they are keeping it open during construction for pedestrians and cyclists. Nice tune coming out of the cap for that exhaust on the bus. Anyway, I should probably hit the button so we can cross. I do like when you press the button, it just works immediately sometimes, although I think that was a coincidence. It looks like they're widening things here too. You can see the old path, and then they've added like an extra half meter on that side. Actually, maybe I'll film that. But you can see here where the old path is there, and now they've extended it. They're going to presumably pave this. All right, I need to stop this phone from constantly locking every time I turn it off. Those are timed traffic lights. You press at the right moment. Yeah, possibly. Although the center one might not be timed. It might be based on the detection of. It might be based on the detection of buses and trams. Give me a second here. Let me change the settings on this phone so it doesn't lock as soon as I turn on. All right, there we go. Now hopefully it won't lock for me. All right, let's head over to the Berlagabrug. And get some footage of that pedestrian bridge, which is kind of cool. Stalinlan really doesn't have the same ring to it. Yeah, this used to be called Stalinlan right after the war. I love it. It is pretty loud out here. Right next to Hitler lot? No, I don't think Hitler was a name that people were fond of after World War II, but Stalin, he was all right after World War II. He helped out. All right, these should be some good before shots for the video. Maybe I'll get some the other way. There was a surprisingly large number of people cycling the wrong way down that feet spot. How often do you walk now that you're a Dutch citizen? I'm not a Dutch citizen yet, but I do like walking. I prefer taking trams. Loud motorcycles are. Cannot wait for those things to go electric. Permanent resident? No, I'm not a permanent resident. You need to be living here for 5 years, pass the inburgerings exam, and apply for permanent residency and get it. And I have lived here for 5 years, passed the inburgerings exam, and put in my application for permanent residence, but they have up to 6 months to do it. Okay, this is such a fucking clusterfuck when it's busy. I gotta come out here maybe sometime to live stream when it's rush hour, because this is so freaking crazy. I think when I've come out here on live streams, I usually immediately turn right and then head down there. But this gets so busy. You see they have this area marked off here where you're not supposed to block it, because then there's huge amounts of cyclists coming in from the left. There's a whole bunch of people who will be lined up here to cross this way. It's just crazy how many people on bicycles are out here in rush hour. Just absolutely nuts. And even not necessarily rush hour. I mean, not holiday time. So, crossing a street and bridge is a pain. Lots of cyclists to from Amstel station, so lots of them going the wrong way. Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely nuts here. It's absolutely nuts here. And like, this is nothing right now. It's almost a waste to be filming it at this time when there's hardly anyone cycling here, but just in case this is the best B-roll I get, I'll grab some while I'm here. I might wait one more light cycle to film this, and then we'll go film the pedestrian bridge, which is over there. Yeah, this is quiet, and I think it's just, I think again, it's because it's the beginning of holidays and a lot of people have just left, or they picked up their kids at noon or whatever and they're just not out. You can never have enough B-roll, that's correct. Oh, shit, I missed that. These lights are highly unpredictable. They're not timed. They are definitely based on some kind of demand or something, because it's not possible to detect when this one's going to go green again. I know Bicycle Dutch used a lot of historic footage in his video of this bridge as well. Yeah, it's a famous bridge. Okay, I'm just gonna maybe head over and film from there once cyclists start building up. But yeah, I cannot stress enough, this is the quietest I've ever seen this intersection. All right, that was good. This is a thing that Amsterdam is doing more often. These like super wide stopping areas for bikes. You see how wide this is, and then it narrows, and then people can turn left there, or they can go straight. They call this the what do they call it? The frites cone, like the French fry cone, basically. Because it's shaped like the cone you get French fries in. So it's like bigger down here, and then it gets narrow as you come in. And they find that this works best for the way that people naturally want to cycle. Like people all line up there, and then they all go at their own speed, and then they can easily merge together into the bike lane. And it allows way more people to cross through a light cycle than if they had it narrowed. Hey, Build the Lanes is here. Everybody go subscribe to Build the Lanes on YouTube. Jason, is Amsterdam a district that's equivalent of London's Piccadilly Circus or NYC's Times Square? Whenever I see the Netherlands, I'm surprised at the lack of advertisements and billboards. And no, they don't do that. The billboards and advertisements are very strictly regulated here. I'm going to film one more light cycle. So you don't see a lot of ads when you're out. It's nice. So that was a very small taste of what it's like, where people were like trying to come through here and these people had to stop. They have to give way because they have the shark's teeth pointing towards them. But yeah, this intersection, man, is something else. I'm just gonna film just a little bit more here and then go film the bridge. I also need to film the bridge from the side. All right, that was good. Got what I need. That's why they do the construction now. Schools are closed and everyone's heading to the south of France, correct? Are you going to do a joint video with Build Lanes? Yeah, I really hope we can get around to doing one about clinkers, pavers. Is that business actually called Coffee Company? Yes, it is a chain of coffee shops called Coffee Company. Ever had people annoyed because you're filming them? Rarely, but yes. What I find with the people who get annoyed of being filmed is like, I'm not even filming them. They just see the camera and they walk up and say, "Don't film me." And I'm like, dude, I'm not even fucking care about you. Like there was one live stream we did with the rave ride, and there was a guy wearing a shirt that says, "I do not consent to being filmed," or something like that. And he wasn't even in my, that's great. He wasn't even in my shot. He like walked up purposefully to be like, "Look at the shirt, don't film me." I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even be filming you if you didn't fucking walk in my shot. It's pretty rare. Okay. I'm gonna get this pedestrian bridge, and then I'm gonna try to get some shots of the bridge from farther away. Climatown's parking video knocked it out of the park. Yeah, it's his top performing video by far. It's a great video though. It took him a really freaking long time to make it. I guess because he had to read The High Cost of Free Parking, which is like a 9,000 page book. And now we all know about him and his t-shirt. Yeah, exactly. He's in the live stream. And the only reason he's in the live stream is because he purposely went into the shot so that he could talk about how he didn't want to be filmed. I'm like, you fucking dumbass. Okay, so this is the temporary cycling and walking bridge. And oh my God, I love how this shit is like better than the permanent infrastructure in most other cities, right? Like this is pretty awesome. I'm gonna figure out how to film it though. I guess just this thing up here. So this is actually wider. Maybe not. That's a bit weird. It's wider on this side than it is on that side. But this has a higher capacity going that way than this does now. It's going to be interesting to see what the clusterfuck of, what's the meaning of the green paint? It's temporary for construction. It'll be interesting to see what the clusterfuck of cyclists that come through here every day at rush hour is going to be like when they're all coming from this bridge. But I guess it'll be closed to car traffic and trams won't be running through here, so they'll probably just have it so that you just go right across the intersection. It might make things better. What's your take on the Van Moof bankruptcy? Well, they made pretty shitty bikes that were overpriced, and they were a pretty poorly run company, so it totally doesn't surprise me at all. The one thing they did have that I think will be missed, and I hope more e-bike companies do it, is they had a way to track down your e-bike when it was stolen. Like they would do it for you. But yeah, I don't think Van Moof made particularly great bikes, and it always pissed me off how easy they made it to remove the speed limiter, and they didn't do a lot. They dragged their heels on that a lot. And so you had a lot of people buying Van Moofs just so they could drive too fast. And I hated them. Okay, I'm gonna get a video of this temporary bridge from over here. It's crazy, man. I can't believe they build temporary bridges this nice here. This country is something else. Nice. Jason, you're a city planner. No, I'm not. I just play one on TV. Maybe you can understand why shifters and others don't in North American sharrows. Okay, so the reason sharrows are shit is because, and you say that they're like a copy paste of a Dutch fietsstraat. This is a major misunderstanding that people have. The fietsstraat is only implemented in the Netherlands in certain cases. It's only done if the speed limit is 30 kilometers an hour or slower, if the number of cyclists on the street is 4 times the number of cars, and if the street is not a through street for cars. If you do all those things, then you can have a fietsstraat. The problem with sharrows in North America is they are just thrown down onto the street, and that's it. The speed limits are still too high, the car volumes are too high, and it's done on major through streets. So this is the part that's being missed, and you see this happen all the time with North American city planning. They take Dutch concepts completely out of context and just slap them down on like North American stroads and say, job done. That's what they do in the Netherlands. And Build the Lanes can talk about this. He has a video about fietsstraten, Build the Lanes on YouTube, that you should watch if you want to learn more about fietsstraten. They're unfortunately fietsstraten, they're 50 kilometers an hour. Yeah, they shouldn't be. Although the fietsstraat is not an official category in Dutch engineering road design. Build the Lanes can tell you more about that. They are not official. There's nothing that makes something a fietsstraat in Dutch law. So they can be used incorrectly. Yeah, the success of a fietsstraat here at Build the Lanes will tell you about it. Although unfortunately the guy who asked is on Twitch and Build the Lanes is on YouTube. But he says here the success of a fietsstraat is directly tied to how successfully you shoo away through cars. And that's it. That's the part that's missing. Sharrows can be perfectly fine if they are on extremely low traffic streets with low speed limits. But those don't exist in North America. There's no such thing as extremely low traffic, low speed streets. Cars can go everywhere all the time. Like cutting off through traffic to cars is like a horrible thing in North America. They won't touch it. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up and film this bridge. So studies done in North America have shown that sharrows are worse than no infrastructure at all. And the reason that is because they're put on dangerous places. But then they show up on bike maps and stuff like that. And so novice cyclists who shouldn't be cycling with high-speed traffic go on routes with sharrows because that's where they're being told to go. And so they go there and they cycle there and then they get injured or killed because it's fundamentally not safe infrastructure on high-speed stroads. Residential streets are relatively low traffic. Yeah, maybe. It's very common in North America to have residential streets that are 60 kilometer an hour speed limits, 70 kilometer per hour speed limits, and the speed that people drive is even faster. And they're also through streets, like people cut through them for rat running, yeah? So they really don't work that way. I'm gonna film this way to get the tram and the bicyclists. I'm legitimately surprised that this tram is waiting at a red light. I expected it to go through, that's why I started filming. It must be running ahead of schedule. I'm gonna walk into your live specifically to tell you don't film me. Yeah, okay. Okay, build the lanes. You come right down, stand right in front of the camera and say, I don't want to be filmed. So I've come down to tell you that. All right, let's get some footage of the bridge this way. A little before shots. It wouldn't surprise me if when they redesign this, they make it only one lane for cars in each direction. Because right now they've got it shared with the tram lane. But given that they're reducing the speed of this to 30 kilometers an hour, because it's currently 50, I believe, it really wouldn't surprise me if they reduce the car lanes on the redesign. But we'll have to see. Because then they'd be able to expand the size of the bicycle paths, which really need it, because there's so many cyclists that come through here at rush hour. All right, here come a bunch of people. You can see there's times like this where there's just way more people cycling than people driving. And that's pretty common here. Although, like I said, this is the quietest I've ever seen this intersection. What's the ratio of B-roll footage that gets used compared to the ones collecting dust? You know, I don't know. There is a lot of B-roll I haven't used, and I do plan to make some videos based on B-roll I haven't used. But I never have enough B-roll. Even when I think I've been filming for hours, I never have enough B-roll. My dad hates speed limits, but he's kind of a boomer. I told him he's unintentionally biased. I mean, the thing is with speed limits in North America is that they're often just set arbitrarily, right? The size of the road is completely disconnected from the speed limit. Jason already spoiled the roundabout video. Yeah, sorry about that. People were asking me about a roundabout video, and I said, well, Build Lane's making one. I'm gonna film this way when the light turns green here for cyclists. Get some people coming by. Never have enough B-roll. Looks like the sidewalk is closed on this side of the bridge. I guess I'll have to cross over. But I want to film the bridge from the other side anyway, the before. All right, let's go. Come on, light, change. I want to film. If I stand here any longer, somebody with a t-shirt saying they don't want to be filmed is going to stand in front of my shot. Seemed like that light was red for bikes for a long time on that one. Oh. Hi there.
Hi. You're going for long exposure, is he?
No, actually, I'm just filming traffic generally.
Okay.
This is video.
Okay. I thought you were like just doing slow shutter speed thing.
No. And I'm live streaming on Twitch and YouTube here, so I hope you don't mind that our conversation is being broadcast to the world.
Oh, wow. Finally in a live event.
There you go.
You're just having like a little stroll around?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel where I talk about urban planning, urban mobility, and stuff like that. Not just bikes.
I think I've seen your channel.
There you go. There you
Not
go.
just bikes. Nice. I've seen it. Yeah.
So I'm out here filming because they're going to renovate Berlagabrug, in a couple of days. And it's all going to be closed. This is the pedestrian bridge, so I'm out here filming the before.
Okay, so you filmed the before, so you can also film the after.
Exactly, that's the idea.
What are they doing to it?
Well, it's unsafe. It hasn't been fixed since the 30s, and it's just
an old raggedy bridge.
Yeah, but I suspect they're going to make it nicer too. So I need lots of before shots. Anyway, good luck with your photography. Cheers. Odd to see someone else with a camera. You are live on YouTube and Twitch. Please do not swear. I think swearing is okay. Just don't play copyrighted music more than anything else. Are you aware trams have buses have their own specific traffic signals? Yes, of course I am. And they have, not a stream snipe if they don't know if it's happening. That was funny. He was just randomly taking photos of the street. You got your t-shirt, man, except he didn't mind. The trams have transit signal priority here, which is why I was so surprised that one tram was stopped at the red light. The only time that happens, in my understanding, is if either another transit vehicle has priority, which wasn't the case there, or if they're running ahead of schedule and then it doesn't matter. Or bike by playing copyrighted music. Oh, dude, yeah. I had one of my streams totally demonetized because one guy was walking by with a boombox playing copyrighted music. I had to go into the YouTube editor and mute the whole thing. All right, I need some footage of the Berlagabrug and the before situation. I suspect they're going to keep it looking like this. They did say that they're going to maintain the historic look. But from my understanding, they are changing the way that the bridge opens for large ships. They've got some other plan in mind for that. So I guess they're modernizing that. Is Dutch relatively easy to learn as a native English speaker? Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy sign to learn. What does the upside down pedestrian sign mean? It means that it wasn't attached properly and it fell down, I assume. Where can I film this bridge from? Because there's all these houseboats in the way. I wanted like footage from like down there, but I'm gonna get the houseboat. Well, let's just see what I can get. Yeah, it means no Australians or New Zealanders. This houseboat in particular is pretty big. It's really in the way, and there's no other bridge nearby that I could stand on to get this. That's kind of frustrating. Charter a boat. Yeah, well, I was legitimately thinking that. I was thinking maybe I'll just grab a boat and come out here, because I've come out here before. Maybe I should. Not right now, though. I have to go home soon and make dinner for my children. Grab a Mokum boat. Yeah, have you seen how slow those things go? They have a speed limit of 6 kilometers an hour on the canals, but I swear those boats go like 3 or 4 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I can't get a good shot of this bridge from here. Try pushing zoom to the limits. Yeah, but without a tripod, that might not be the best idea. Get a drone? Yeah, not legal to fly anywhere in Amsterdam. Go check the drone maps of where you can fly in the Netherlands, and like all of Amsterdam is is just a concentric circles, overlapping circles of helicopter landing pads and Schiphol approach zones, and you can't fly a drone anywhere in here. This is way too far away for this zoom lens without a tripod, but I'll try to get something without falling in the water in the process. All right, let's see what I can get with a bit of zoom. No. I'll just flag those people down and be like, hey, give me a lift to the bridge. All right, that'll have to do unless I decide to get a boat. Yeah, if those people would let me stand on their houseboat, I could get a great shot. If you do fall in, there'll be several 112 calls for your benefit. Yeah, will there be? There better be. Man, if I fell in and I didn't get multiple 112 calls, you guys are all dead to me. Stream stretch goal, buy Jason a boat, right? Did you meet up with Altus Play when he was in Amsterdam? Yep. You missed a super chat. Oh no, where would I miss a super chat? Shit. I hate missing a super chat. And I am not seeing the super chat at all on Restream. Okay, I will find that super chat. Oh, there it is. From Hank Lopen. Thank you so much for all you do. When I was 10, you got me into the Netherlands. I've been obsessed, and 3 years later, I'm moving there for 2 months. Amazing. That's great. That's really great to hear. Thanks so much for the super chat. I'm really glad to hear when people can move to the Netherlands. Yeah, and thanks for anyone that reminded me of that super chat. It's really easy to miss when I'm out walking and filming and biking. So sorry about missing that. Oh yeah, there it is. I see it on Restream now too. Yeah, but I do love hearing about people who have moved here because of the channel. I have a Patreon that joined a family that just finished relocating here from Canada, and she was so happy. It's really good to see. I mean, that was the original and purpose of the channel, right? First line in my first video was, this is a video I wish I could have seen 20 years ago because it would have saved me figuring out where I wanted to live. All right, I'm gonna film this before. Perfect. That was good footage. That's what I'm out here for. B1 Dutch, I've been on the grind. I think my Dutch is up to B2. Wait, he's 13 years old. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. YouTube often doesn't show super chats to the broadcaster. Yeah, well, it also doesn't help that I'm using Restream. I am sorry, Twitch people, but I'm going to have to stop using Restream at some point in time once my Restream subscription expires. It causes too many issues. Oh, but yes, I did meet up with Altus Play. We went out for a beer. It was nice. He's a good guy. Altus Play on YouTube, worth following if you speak French. He's a French language channel out of Paris. So Altus Play is the guy who took me around Paris when I was there. I made my Paris video with him. Jason, since you're living in the Netherlands, have you figured out on average, what the average Dutch income of a Dutch citizen is? Yeah, you can look that up online. It's only about 37,000 euros a year, from my understanding. Everyone keeps saying owning a car is super expensive and the country disincentivizes cars. I don't know if the country disincentivizes cars. The city disincentivizes cars, but the country doesn't necessarily do that. And you see big luxury brands. Well, I mean, here in Amsterdam, there's going to be a lot of wealthy people, so that's why you're going to see luxury brands here. The municipalities restrict cars, but I find the provinces are actually way too car friendly, and in particular the political party that's has been in power for many years, the VVD, is very car friendly, and not in a good way. That was good footage. I should probably get some footage of this word Berlagabrug here. Video idea, the most car brain parts of the Netherlands. Yeah, I'm planning on doing the most car-centric places in the Netherlands, because I think North Americans would be like, that's car-centric? You call that car-centric? But the thing is that people still drive cars here in the Netherlands because it is a fairly wealthy country, and cars are a luxury. Well, so why wouldn't you own one? It's not like a religious opposition to cars in this country. Cars can be useful, so people buy them. But it's very often that we know people who own cars and they only use them when they go like on holidays or on the weekends or something like that. Otherwise, they walk and cycle. But like I've said before, it's not like people gave up wristwatches when we got clocks on our phones, right? People still buy wristwatches. In fact, they buy really expensive wristwatches, really fancy wristwatches. And I think it's the same thing with cars here in the Netherlands. Yes, I know the stress for Berlagabrug is on the first syllable. It's just that when I'm speaking English, I find it hard to say that. It's weird that cycling is seen as a rich person thing in North America. You know what? It depends. People are ridiculous about that shit. Like, in one sense, you have to be wealthy to cycle because you have to be able to afford to live close enough to a downtown, which is the only place the cycle lanes are. But the truth is that a lot of very poor people cycle in North America, the ones who cannot afford a car at all and have to cycle because it's the only way they can afford to get around. But the detractors of cycling, usually the people who are very much friendly with fossil fuel companies and automobile companies, like to pitch cycling as this idea that it's only for these wealthy elite who want to go cycling for fun, and we shouldn't be listening to them. The poor, everyday American needs his car. It's a load of garbage. Oh, APOC, thanks so much. I live 45 minutes from the Dutch border and have been going on vacation my whole life. Never appreciate Dutch cities before your channel. Thanks so much. Glad to help. Sometimes you need an outside eye. Love watching people walk by wondering what the fuck this guy's doing. Yeah, I'm talking to myself too, right? I, Dutch, use my car twice or thrice a week and live outside a built-up area. Yeah, that's very common, I find, in the Netherlands. Like, people have cars. They might drive to work. Sure, they'll use the car for driving to work. There's a lot of people who own cars and only use them a few times a week, which I personally think is insane. I think, like, we need way more car share options. I think that's becoming more common in big cities, like in Amsterdam, that people are realizing, well, I can use a car share for those like 2 times a week that I use my car. One of the problems is, though, once you own a car, then you use a car. Like, people will look and say, like, oh, I could take the train, but the train will cost me 15 euros, or I could just drive. And then, since you already own the car, you're already paying for it, it's sitting there. The only extra cost is maintenance and wear and tear and gasoline, and so then people end up using it. I'm gonna, as soon as these cyclists go here, I'm gonna film this way. I'll get behind this post here, because there's actually a fair number of people who are queuing up here, and this will be a good before shot. I do need the clips to be interesting, and having lots of people cycling by makes it look more interesting, but they come in bunches. I think maybe some more footage from the bridge on that side, but I think I'm pretty much done here. I use my car once a week. My fixed cost for one trip is 70 euros, yeah. I can't afford a car, so I use a motorcycle, and it's a hobby. Sorry for being loud, Jason. You should be. There's no pedestrian crossing on this side. Shit. But I want to get over there, and I don't really... Well, maybe I'll film the intersection from the other side anyway, actually. So one of the things you notice here, when all the cyclists come here, they come along this fietspath. It's fairly narrow. But then there's a hill up here to the bridge, and so people end up going all different speeds. But you get this bottleneck here, especially when you get a bunch of people coming from that direction. This becomes a really big mess. And so this can get all backed up here, and then people don't make it through the light before it changes for the cars. I really hope that when they do this intersection, they'll make this much wider and improve this area here significantly to give more space. So you look here, you see that people have to like really merge in together, and then they all end up going sort of different speeds up this hill to the bridge. And it becomes a bit of a clusterfuck here when it's busy, but again, this is like ridiculously quiet for this intersection. What angle do I want to get when this tram goes here? I don't think you could notice, but that was interesting. The light turned green for cyclists coming this way and green for cars making a left turn. And because they don't interfere with each other, they can all go at the same time, even though that's technically this direction and that's this direction. Those are those smart Dutch traffic lights for you. The traditional Amsterdam sound of homophobic slurs. Yeah, that was, I don't know what that every once in a while people like to yell because I'm filming just to be dicks. Just get some footage from this side. It's starting to rain a bit. Cross while I can. Don't get hit by a bureau. This intersection is pretty fucking big. I hope they fix this. All right, just get footage here when the light goes green for these cyclists. And it is starting to rain. Do I have Bowen radar here? Yes. Is it going to rain? I am very curious to see what happens when all those cyclists need to go to the left side of the bridge. Yeah, it says, the Bowen radar says that it's not raining, so I'm obviously getting wet from motorists spitting on me. Okay, one more, maybe from behind here. Yeah, this is interesting. They've redesigned a bunch of this here. I'm really curious to see what this looks like when they're done. Hey, another super thanks. Thanks, Costardo. The super stickers are awful, so here's a super chat. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Somebody let me know if I missed any other super chats. All right, get one more shot here. I never have enough B-roll. This seems excessive, but I just know that it's really not. She was displeased that she had to ring her bell to turn right. All right, maybe that's enough Berlagabrug for now. Why do you think the federal, provincial, municipality governments work so much better in the Netherlands than in other EU nations, North America? It seems no matter where the Dutch live, it could be some remote village and still have great cycle infrastructure. I think that's really just because it's done at a federal level. That's the way that, like, there's federal level guidelines on road infrastructure, and it's just done that way. There's really no reason why that couldn't be done in states and provinces in the US and Canada. In fact, it kind of is being done in Massachusetts. The Massachusetts brought in state level requirements for protected cycling infrastructure. And so, same as in the Netherlands, every time a street is being redesigned, it's being redesigned safer. So I think you're going to see in about 20 years in Massachusetts, it's going to be a massive difference. They're not built wide enough. There's still lots of problems with them, but compared to the rest of the US, it's pretty good. It's nice now that this is so much wider. Although I'm not really sure why this is blocked off. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, because they haven't done... Oh, that's interesting. So this is super wide now, but this island here in the center is still really narrow, see? So presumably, when they close the bridge, they're going to redo this whole intersection. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's exactly why it's blocked off. That's super interesting. And GB Live, do you think the new mayor of Toronto will improve cycling infrastructure? Absolutely. Olivia Chow is awesome. She will totally improve cycling infrastructure as much as a mayor can. They still need to get through committee and stuff, but Olivia Chow will assign like sane people to committee instead of like Stephen Holiday and shit. And yes, it will be freak cone. That's exactly what I think they'll do here. They'll reduce it to that intersection. It'll be great though if they remove a lane for cars over here, because that will give so much more space. I'm gonna try to film that from here if I can make it more obvious. See if I can get a view of this intersection here. Okay, good. Just gonna grab a view of that bridge from this side, and then I think we're done. I'm gonna start cycling back to Zoud. Other part of Zoud. We're still in Zoud. But I want to swing by Stadshouderskade because they're also doing construction there. Love that tram sound. Yeah, me too. That's why it's the intro to my channel. You get deeper and deeper orange pilled. Yeah, it's gonna happen, man. I think there's a lot of reasons to leave the United States that have nothing to do with urban planning, to be honest. Damn, look at how wide this is here. But in this direction, it's wider than in that direction. That's funny that they've done it that way. Okay, let's get, I guess I have to lift up my camera here. That's the best I'm gonna get, I guess. I mean, I'll be able to film this once it's open, but then there'll be a million people cycling through it. Never have enough B-roll. Oh shit, now there's tons of people over there. Cyclists really do come in waves here. I think I'm standing right in the way of all these people cycling. So I'm just gonna step behind this barrier so I don't get hit by bikes. And I will film this freak cone as people take off. Although it doesn't look like there's a huge number of people here right now. Maybe more will come. It depends how long the light decides to stay red. A lot of people walking down here where there is no sidewalk. All right, I'm just going to try to get one more light cycle here, and then let's go check out Stadshouderskade and see how that's coming along. Dude carrying his flat screen TV on his bike. It was kind of a shit light cycle, but whatever. I will come back and film this when they are done. Well, I'll film it also while it's under construction. Jason, the bike path's red because Dutch like the color. The bike, from my understanding, the bike paths are red because they're not painted, they're dyed asphalt. And when they made that decision many decades ago, the most robust color for dyed asphalt was red. But the bike paths in North America are painted, which can make them very slippery when they're wet. So it's much better to have dyed asphalt. Nowadays you can get asphalt dyed in any color you want, but from my understanding it was much more robust and cheaper to get red asphalt. All right, good. Let's go check out Stadshouderskade, and then I'll probably end the chat and end the stream sometime after that. I'm starting to get a bit hungry, actually, to be honest. I haven't eaten in a while. Yeah, and the green paint doesn't last. No, it does not. Painted is not a good idea, but, you know, it's cheaper. So that's what North America is going to do. Okay, just put the camera away here, secure it for the ride, and hopefully I've still got a little bit of hot tea left in here. Although I probably should have brought like a protein bar or something. This is so much nicer now that it's wider. It used to be really narrow here. Good. Sometimes they'll use thermoplast in Ontario now. Yeah, isn't thermoplast slippery though? I don't know. They also, in Ontario, they paint the images of the bicycle, and then they, while it's wet, they throw down the reflective like sand. And oh my God, that's like, it's like riding on ice. It's insane until that sand goes away. It's deadly. Let's roll. That Fabo, I went there as a kid, nice. Protein bars and no face cam. These live streams are so CGP gray, yeah. You don't need to see my face, you need to see the street. That's what you're here for. But yes, bringing a protein bar on stream is a good idea. I should have done that. Man, it is windy out here. I hope the mic is not picking that up. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go home and eat soon, and probably feed my children. Although they can feed themselves now, so maybe when I get home, I'll find they've already fed themselves. So I figure we'll just go up Van Vouwstraat, yeah, which I normally wouldn't want to cycle on because it's kind of shit. But they are pedestrianizing the very north end of Van Vouwstraat, which is amazing. That's also going to be a video subject, so I'll grab some shots of that under construction. Yeah, so this is what, Rijnstraat? Yeah, this is Rijnstraat. So then this will turn into Van Vouw after what, Centurbaan, I think? This is a nice enough street. You know, like typical street with shops and houses above it. Tram line running down the center. One lane for cars in each direction. Hey NJB, would you call Moldova car-centric? I don't know if I've spent any time in Moldova. I was through there once, but like, it is relatively car-centric from my understanding, but I haven't spent a lot of time there. A lot of that area of Europe tends to be quite car-centric. Changes names after the canal bridge. Oh yeah. Ah yeah, of course. And already there's Van Vouw Apotheek. Van Vouwstraat, yeah. So here we are, and then the bike lane disappears. This was featured in my most dangerous places to cycle in Amsterdam. I said that, I mean, the traffic's really low right now, so it's not so bad. But I said that whenever I feel like I'm missing Toronto, I come cycle on Van Vouwstraat, and then I'm not missing Toronto anymore. This reminds me so much of like Queen Street in Toronto, or King Street, but before the King Street Transit Priority Project anyway. But this is like Queen Street normally. Just a complete clusterfuck of cars and trying to cycle around traffic and stuff. But I suspect that this is all going to be redesigned over the next few years. At the very north end of this, as I said, they are pedestrianizing it. So cars won't be able to go through here to get to Stadshouderskade anymore. Again, so this is again one of these things where some North American is going to come and look at this and say, oh, well, you know, this design works fine in the Netherlands. They just slap 30 down on the road and put some painted bicycle gutters. We can do that too. What they're missing is that they're not allowing through traffic through here anymore. So traffic volumes are very low. And that's always the context that's missing, because that's the part they don't do in North America. They don't restrict through traffic to cars. Cars can go almost anywhere they want, anywhere in the city in North America. Whereas here, they're very much discouraged. They're supposed to be out on that street over there where we were, at Amstel. Is that Amstelkade? No, that's Amstellaan. Anyway, yeah, so here's the construction here. They're redoing the whole street from here, Centurbaan, up. Right, I'm just gonna stop and let these people go through. Apparently I was too slow and ended up in the middle of the intersection when it changed. So they're redoing the tram tracks here. I think the design of this street is going to be pretty similar though, but a little farther up, it'll be blocked off to cars. Amsteldijk, that's it, Amsteldijk. That's what it's called. San Francisco has restricted some streets. Yeah, San Francisco did Market Street. They're doing a pretty good job there. But that's ultimately what needs to be done. More than bike infrastructure, they need to restrict cars. I suspect that the design of this street is going to be similar. It's going to be low traffic. There won't be protected bike lanes because they won't be necessary for a low traffic, low speed street. And I suspect it will be mostly cyclists coming down after Saint-Servan because it'll only be local traffic and cars won't be able to go through to Stadshouderskade. Let's go check this out. I believe that I can cycle once I get up here a little more. Another Fabo. I should just pop into Fabo and get frickin' Dobroche, yeah? I thought I remembered actually being able to cycle up here. Maybe they've torn it up more since I've been here. Yeah, they're really tearing up the whole street here. Holy shit. But they got all the water mains and stuff out here, so I guess that's what they're doing. You can see the old ones, the old pipes there. It's nice and quiet out here now, isn't it? I'll just get a little clip of this traffic or construction from a couple different angles here. Curious to see what the final design of this looks like. Saying things like that, you're bound to get your citizenship. I damn well better get my citizenship. Permanent residence should be coming soon, then citizenship. Okay. Fabo has burgers and sandwiches, yes, but also just generally lots of deep fried stuff. Dutch snack bar food. Out of vending machines. That's what's kind of unique about it. It's all out of vending machines. You hear that? I can vouch for Jason, he's a good ambassador for the Netherlands. You hear that, Mark? Mark's not around anymore, man. Mark's gone. There's too much wind out here. I'm not going to get any. I mean, it's not like there's much audio to get, but I should put the better microphone on. Otherwise, I'm just going to have the whole time. He still is demissionary. Yeah, I suppose he is still there. Which Mark? Mark Rutte. Are you allowed to vote? No. I can only vote in municipal. No, I can't even vote in municipal elections. I can vote in water board elections. Or wait, municipal and water board, not provincial, not federal. It's a lot more torn out than I remember it being. How wide do steers get? I assume you mean streets get in the Netherlands? You say e-bikes deserve their own space away from cars and manual bikes. No, I don't think that's necessary. These days, Amsterdam is removing protected bike lanes for the most part. They're getting rid of them because they're too narrow. And so instead they're restricting car speeds and car volumes and just turning the whole street over to bikes. And I think that's perfectly fine. And yes, water boards are important in the Netherlands. That's how we get all our flood infrastructure built. And our canals and stuff. Yeah, this street is totally torn up. Holy shit. Wasn't expecting this.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I have respect for other people filming. I'll give them their space. Yeah, I swear the last time I came down Van Valstraat, it was not this torn up. I didn't expect to be walking all the way up to Stadshouderskade. But I'm really curious to see what they're doing up here, because this is the part just after the market here where it's all going to be blocked off, pedestrianized. Yeah, if I had known it was going to be this blocked off, I wouldn't have come down here. Oh, it's a pain in the ass. If you need a separate space for e-bikes, you've done something wrong. E-bikes are just bikes. I agree. They just need to make sure that they're limited to 25 kilometers an hour, and they're generally fine. But having the streets at 30 kilometers an hour and having the whole street given over to cyclists. Oh, they're extending the size of the sidewalk here. Oh, sweet. It is going to be designed better. And then this here is where it's going to be off limits to cars. So cars will only be able to drive up this far, and then right there is Stadshouderskade, which is a major road for cars today, but it's being reduced from 50 kilometers an hour to 30. And I suspect they're going to bring it down to 1 lane in each direction too, but I don't know for sure. Oops. Yeah, so I assume that this is going to be a bike path here. The trams will be here. This will be a bike path. Emergency vehicles will be able to go through. We'll find out. This will be a big improvement. This street is such shit before. It had so much car traffic. You can see it in my video, the most dangerous places to cycle in Amsterdam. So I'm very much looking forward to. The city's basically like checking off all of the places that were in my most dangerous places to cycle in Amsterdam and fixing them all. They fixed the Kinkerstraat. Now they're doing Stadshouderskade and Van Vaal.
no.
Yeah, this is good. I suspect they're getting rid of street parking here too, which is how they're able to expand the size of the sidewalks. Probably no protected bicycle lane because with limited car traffic and limited speeds, that won't be necessary. Does everyone park their bikes in the parking garage, or people that live in the upper floors of the buildings that get their bikes up and down all the time? They park on the street. Most people park their bikes on the street. Okay, now I want to see what they're doing up here with Stadshouderskade. It looks like it might be open. I filmed it a few weeks ago when it was closed and they were doing construction on it. You agree with that shop sign? You mean train more? Shouldn't be called train more. It's a gym, eh? That's why it's called train more. Should be called more trains. Ever see recumbents? Yeah, occasionally. Not very common. Saw one the other day. You see them more often outside of the city. People doing like longer rides rather than in the city. Van Moof is bankrupt. Discuss. We already did discuss. You're late. Oh yeah, so they finished this. Sweet. It's still two, I was gonna say it's still 2 lanes for cars, but it's 1 lane over there. That's interesting. It's 1 lane for cars there. It expands into 3 lanes, 1 left turn lane, 2 through lanes. But then the 2 through lanes merge up there. Why would they make that? Oh, I guess this is, well, I was going to say this is a right turn lane, but look, it's not anymore. You can see now the bike path goes through. They've already done it for where it's going to be blocked off the cars. Yeah. I was going to say I thought maybe they did it 2 lanes here so that cars could turn right, but there is no right turn lane because cars are no longer allowed to turn right here. And you can see there's actually a bicycle turning lane on the right there. Yeah, they've totally just blocked that off to cars already. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They're in the middle of doing that construction. But you can see here, this used to be that cars could turn right here, but now it's all, the bike path continues through, it stays being red too. It's not a crossing, it's just a bike path. Cool. Really fascinating that they've made it 2 lanes for cars, only for like this 1/2 block, and they reconstructed it that way. I wonder why. That's bizarre. But I see how they also put in a whole bunch of new bike parking, so let's go take a look at that. Would you ride on computer-controlled trains? Of course. I've been on the Docklands Light Railway in London many times. Trains should be computer-controlled. And also at airports. Yeah, so Amsterdam is removing protected bike lanes, generally, yes. I'm going to make a video about that. Because, like, let's face it, protected bike lanes are not bike infrastructure, right? They're car infrastructure. Without the cars, you don't need protected bike lanes. They're not necessary. So if through traffic is reduced and speed limits are car speeds are reduced, the problem that Amsterdam has with protected bike lanes is they're too full. They get kind of dangerous because there's so many people in them. It makes it hard to pass, makes it hard to ride side by side. They've changed this intersection too. This is way better now for bikes to cross. And look at how much they've narrowed the road here. That's really, really narrow there. That's like what, like 3 meters for cars? Super narrow at that point to make it safer to cross on bike. And then that median is way bigger than it used to be. Well, there didn't used to be this here like this. This is cool. And all this bike parking is new too. They've taken away car parking to build this. Yeah, this is interesting. This is... Huh. Nice. I'm gonna have to come through here on a busier day when there's more people, more cars, more cyclists, but I'll get a little bit of footage here. There's so little traffic today, it's ridiculous. But this is interesting because Stadshoudersgade is being turned into a 30 kilometer per hour street, which is nice. Yeah, I wonder why it goes from 1 lane to 3. No, the turning lane makes sense. They always do that. What I don't understand is why it goes from 1 lane to 2 through lanes to only then just combine into 1 lane right after the junction. That I don't understand. And it's been rebuilt that way. And cars can no longer turn right on Van Bouwstraat. Anyway, I wanted to get a car coming through this junction, but there's like no traffic. Okay, here comes a van. Yeah, I really don't understand why it's 2 through lanes there. Because now that red car has to merge in front of the van immediately. I don't know, there must be some reason why they did it that way. I bet it lets cars pass slower cars. That's possible. Yeah, it could be that so it keeps traffic from backing up. They maximize internet throughput, more cars can line up. That's entirely possible. Yeah, also makes sense that it could be to keep cars from backing up over the bike crossing. Anyway, I'll have to come out during a proper rush hour sometime and film it and see how it performs. But I think that's about it. That's all I had on my filming for today. So thanks for coming along. I'll just find a place to stop the stream. Maybe we'll head over to like Ferdinand Bolstraat or something. All right. You think torque is more important than motor wattage, I think you meant. Yeah, so I actually agree that on e-bikes, the torque is more important than the wattage. Like this e-bike is a 250 watt motor because we're here in the Netherlands, but it has 60 Newton meters of torque, which is a lot. Because normally they're like 30 or 40 Newton meters. And I find that the torque makes the biggest difference. Because that's when you need the e-assist power, is when you're starting out or going up a hill or something. It's good to have that torque, but otherwise it's not really necessary. This road was recently reconstructed to latest standard. Yes, it was. And so yes, I figure that I think the chat's right there. This is just to increase the throughput of this intersection to keep cars from backing up too long here. Basically, it's the equivalent of the freak cone, but for cars. Thank you. This is nicer though, and then this is the same bike path that was here before. It'll be interesting to see what they do here with this street, because it is being turned into a 30 kilometer per hour street. This is protected bike path here with this like crazy line of just for parking. I can't believe that they would keep this, but maybe they'll put all the parking over here and get rid of all the parking over there. I don't know. But this has always been a pretty shit street to cycle on, because this protected bike lane drops away pretty soon, and it's very busy road by Amsterdam standards and high speed limit by Amsterdam standards. But I remember when we first moved to the Netherlands, GroenLinks in their election campaign was saying they wanted to turn Stadshouderskade into a linear park, just get rid of the cars altogether. And that didn't end up happening. But they are turning it into a 30 kilometer per hour street. And that will change in December. Anyway, I think I'll just end the stream up here on Ferdinand Bolstraat, and then maybe pop into Albert Heijn to get some stuff for dinner. I think there's a Jumbo along here too, actually. This is another street that cars are not allowed to go through. Only delivery vehicles. So I suspect the Van Wouw is going to be set up in a similar way. They can turn the parking into a park. Yeah, exactly. A bit busier out here, but this is still not a lot of traffic for 6 o'clock on a Friday. I guess a lot of people left town as soon as school was done, and school let out early today. Can you stop by the art store on the left in a few meters? This is a good art store, right? Very expensive, but it's like expensive for a reason, because it's like high quality stuff. What the hell is going on here? Just flat out running red lights. Okay. Yeah, so here you can see that this is off limits to cars here. Delivery vehicles can come through here at certain times of the day, and emergency vehicles. I suspect that Van Valstraat's going to be something like this in the end. So it's just blocked off here, and then cars can go like wherever they want after here, but it's only going to be local traffic. Does Netherlands have Walmart-esque stores? The Netherlands has bigger stores on the edge of the cities, but they don't really have Walmarts in Europe because like the Walmart business model only exists because of the way American cities are set up. Walmart is not profitable if your city is insane regulations. I mean, Walmart exists to take advantage of the way American cities are poorly funded, like Strongtown style, right? So those big box stores exist because cheap land is available on the periphery, because the municipality will pay for all of their infrastructure, and because the municipality will give them tax incentives to build. And then the average Walmart store is only around for 15 years, then they abandon it and build in another tax subsidy zone. Like the existence of Walmarts are insane. It's basically because American cities are funded like shit. Strongtowns has a bunch of stuff about Walmarts and big box stores and how they work. So this is Ferdinand Valstraat. This is a good example of like what I'm talking about, where they don't have any separated bicycle infrastructure, but it's not really necessary because like look at how few cars there are and how slowly they're moving compared to the number of bicycles. And that's entirely because cars are not allowed to come through up there, right? So it's only local traffic. And that's what North American planners and engineers and advocates miss. This only works because of that, because they've restricted car volumes. If you just did this and didn't restrict car volumes, this would be a giant clusterfuck. All right, anyway, I'm gonna end off the stream here. We've seen a couple of trams, maybe wait for one more to go by. I'll check chat, put away the camera. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for staring at some construction sites. It was good fun. The day actually cleaned up a little bit. It was a bit drizzly, but now it's quite nice. Blue skies, warm enough.
Zit daar. Wat zoeken we?
Surprised running red lights are legal in the Netherlands. It's not legal. They just have more important things to worry about. Well, Walmart can exist in walkable areas like IKEA does, yes. But their whole business model is very different in those areas. The Walmart business model is dependent on cities being funded incorrectly. They take advantage of that. That's where they exist. Those big box stores exist because of the problems that Strong Towns talks about. That's how they're able to have low prices, because they're basically like ripping off the city in order to do it. When is your next NJB video? It's in editing now, I think a week and a half or so. Yeah, I love this street. Like, look at how many people are cycling, right? But again, this is only possible because it's off limits to through traffic. And they're removing lots of parking spaces too. I've talked about this, like I have a YouTube short about this. They're redesigning these streets. See, this is blocked off to cars. And they've removed they removed all of the permanent car parking except for disabled parking and temporary loading. So that also reduces the number of cars coming through here because you can't park. DNC, thanks for the super chat. Hair character turning around waving his hand saying, "Hey you," while lowering his glasses. I like how I get the description of it. That's amazing. I want to see it on YouTube now. So funny. Thanks so much for the super chat, DHC. I'll make sure I didn't miss any others. I don't think I'm logged in as NJB Live because I'm not seeing the super chats pinned along the top. Did you sue Venmo already? Lol. All right, anyway, I'm gonna shut down the stream after the next tram, but I'll walk a little ways along Ferdinand Bolstraat because this is one of my favorite streets. Are the bollards retractable? Yeah, they are on that street for deliveries. They put them in at 11 a.m. and then take them out at night. Can't believe 2 years ago I took the orange pill and now I'm about to study urban planning in Amsterdam. Thanks, Jason, you changed my life. That is so awesome to hear. I love it. That is cool. That's what I like. Let people know about this stuff, right? That's the point. I'm so glad that people can like move to Amsterdam. It doesn't have to be Amsterdam either. There are other cities in Europe, and I've been talking about other cities in Europe, but I don't get a chance to get out very often to them. But Oslo was great. Paris was improving a lot. Switzerland, like, my God, Basel in Switzerland was so good. I didn't even know it was that good until I went there last year. For similar reasons, 2 weeks. Awesome. We're moving to Hilversum. That'll be good. Hilversum has a lot of Americans there. It's more car-centric by Dutch standards, but by American standards, it would be the greatest town in the country. I think we had our trams and now we've got a gap in the trams. Oh, here comes one. So I'm going to shut down shortly. I still have a bit of tea left. Nice. Have you tried Amsterdam Salsa Shop Fresh Mexican Kitchen? I don't know. I normally go for like better tacos, to be honest. Like there's a couple in Nord. There's Bacalar. Oh my God, they're so good. And Koba. Best Mexican in Amsterdam by far. Oh no, that tram is turning. We're gonna keep the stream on until there's a tram coming. But look at this street, right? Like you can see there's a truck. There's just ridiculous amounts of people cycling. And this is why they don't build this with protected bicycle paths, because you'd end up with all these people cycling having to like be in this tiny protected bicycle path, whereas this way they can spread out all over the place and there's so few cars that it doesn't matter, right? I used to live in SLO and it's pretty nice by US standards. Like Slovenia, you mean? Because Ljubljana is becoming really, really nice. I want to get out there. All right, here comes our tram. And then we'll stop the stream after that. The other thing I like here, they have a gauntlet track. See the street narrows? The buildings are closer together up there than they are in the south. So they have tram lanes here, but then the trams share a lane right there, so they have to wait. And there is one coming in the other direction, actually. So we might get to see it. We might get to see one of the trams have to wait for the gauntlet track. But no, that one is stopped at the stop, so it won't need to. Nice. Man, I love this street. This is just such a great street. The Netherlands disallowed Chipotle from coming, that's why Salsa Shop exists. That's funny. Well, thanks for coming out, everyone. That was our tram. I appreciate you coming along for the ride. And hopefully I'll be able to stream a few more times. I'm going to be in Canada in most of August. I'm not sure if I'll stream from there, but I'll try. I'm actually not sure if I want to bring all of my streaming gear when I'm trying to go carry-on only. Every time I bring the streaming gear through the airport, I get pulled aside for extra screening. I guess all those cables and wires and everything are just kind of suspicious. All right, one more tram coming through. This will be the tram we end on. I wish NYC had trams. Me too. Every city should have trams. Hi, Mr. Tram. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Where's my OBS controller? Oh, God.